I am peeled to my chair for awaiting a destined call to hear it all, to know something. You see, when you know it all, you know let me see how I can say it. The all you need to know is the next word you need to speak. I am not fluent yet in this new language I have picked up. It comes to me just as natural as the air, except it keeps coming. So you slow it down and you let it go faster. The best way is always marijuana. Do you want me to tell you why? Because when you buzz, there's a certain pressure on your head, inside your mind. When you go inside, you're able to calm the two oceans. When you calm the two oceans, you can now see through the electronic mind. Instead of being on the right and always being pushed away, now you're in the center. You remember on one side, and you go fishing on the other. You stay in the boat in the center, and you fish on both sides. You throw it out the back, you throw it out the front, it comes in your ears and it's in your eyes, but it's all in the skies because it's got to be breaking up before it reaches the skies. This world is a facade, and it's very sad. Very funny that I just came up with something. That I looked at a Monopoly game, and it said, instead of go to jail, it said G-O-A-L, which means go angel life. Well, if you go angel life, jail, okay, is the 9 lives that it can. Community chest, CNC. When you write CNC, you put C plus D, so this T in the center is actually your ace talking. The reason for that is because of its design. It has a bar that goes across. How many letters go across? The A goes across, the E goes across, the I, A, E, I. Well, the I doesn't go across in the center. It goes the top and the bottom. So let's not count the I, the upper and the lower worlds. And you can now count all these letters. So when you put an A next to any letter, you have to do this. See that long A right there? Because you're connecting. Some letters say, okay, I'm going left and right, I'm connecting, holding on to the elephant's tail, let's continue on. So anyways, it's just really weird, because I just found a new way of calculating things, and according to my calculations, right, and I only use the words of everybody else in games and stuff, not in newspapers, in games. And it says like this: if you minus, you plus, and you plus, and you minus. As the world goes around, it goes one way, away from one, to one, and then away from one. While the earth turns one way, man is always moving forward. So we take the Monopoly, and we start off at go. And then we go -1, we go -1, because God can go -1. He has the first dice, the only dot. He's the only one that can go boardwalk, and he's the only one that can take off and go to the Mediterranean, where we can get our medication for the understanding of the better knowledge of the pyramids of this world that pass through the heavens of the skies, and inside and underneath the universe, just about, or the universe that you know is actually the solar system we live in. The glass slipper of Cinderella melted at midnight. It was ice. Polar. Police. Polar ice. She had a pumpkin. It must have been near October. She had a mouse. The mouse that ran up the clock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Her time was ticking. So the prince came after her. So anyways, if we start at -1, that is God. But since Christ died at 33 years old, apparently, creation is 36. In order for Christ to come at 3, his starting point is 3. So he started at -3. Because he can't start at -1. He's not God. Only God can go -1 to bring on -3. So Christ starts at -3 and -3. Then add 10 on one side, 13. Add 10 on the other side, 13. You got a total of 26. 13, 13. M and M. And in between is the Christ to connect the two M's. Then you go to the 13th position and you find out what it is on Monopoly. You go both ways and find out what both of them are. You'll understand what the in-between is because of the beginning and the end. So if he's born at -3 and he dies in the year of 33, he actually lived till 36. Because he didn't die in the year 30, he died apparently in the year 33, let's say. I'm just assuming. Even if my numbers are a little off, I know I can conform if I got the other numbers because I know they're going to match. That's the way it works. It is what it is. It happens. It's got to work in sequence. So minus 3 and plus 3, the minus 3 have his life, and then they give him life at 0, and then they give him life to 33, and then you add on the minus 3 that he went, because God went first. You have 36. 36 places on Monopoly in which 22 are life. 3 by 6 is the 18, are the angel, the bar. The H is silent because it isn't even said in its own name. You cannot speak the name of God. God is the creator, C and C. Put them together, you got the creation of the H. You also have the goalpost for the football, and we'll get into that another time. So now that we went on this, we did the whole alphabet, now we have to start again. We're going to go minus 7 and plus 7. When you go minus 7 and plus 7, you reach one property, and that's the 7 world dice. Then you go 10 for the second dice, and the 10th one is on community chest. Why don't I start off in 10 and then 7? Because it's 1, 3, 5, 7. 9. Okay, but we don't do 9, and I'll tell you why later, because 9, okay, 9 and 10 is 19. If you count go after, you're in the other world. I want to stop before I get to the other world. So I have to stop on community chest. And if I start at 10, I go right into visiting jail, and it doesn't give me anything. So I start out by 7, and then man comes in as 10. So we go all the way to community chest. It's on the 18th property, but it only took 17 to get there. 17th letter is the Q for the queen, and you are there, QU. If you go backwards, you end up on Indiana. And that's pretty sad, because when you end up on Indiana, with the 9 lives of the cat, because we went forward, we end up at community chest, CC. We go backwards, we end up in Indiana. C plus C, the command to create of the killing of Diana. She was murdered. I can almost guarantee that somewhere in numbers. I only found 1 or 2, but this says she was murdered. Why? Because in order to go to Indiana, I told you, we went minus. Roll the dice, 7 and 10, we go minus 17, which is on the 18th one. 3 and 5, recreation of the 5, the death of 1. We went backwards, so we minus the queen's daughter, or the prince's wife, or whatever you want to call her. The CC forward and the Indiana backwards, 8, 17 and 17 is 34. 3 and 4 is the 7 world. 3 by 4 is 12, representing the letter L, which is the first part of the word of the letter R. L-A-R, Dalal, gold, dollar. If you put together the opposition of man's mind, which is a D, man is the angel resident, and the only reason I'm coming out here with that number is because the 18th place is where we're sitting, but we rolled only 17 because we started on go, but then we restarted on community chest the first time. We rolled another, was it the community chest? The first time we landed on, let me see this for a second, hold on. No, I don't have anything wrong, I'm just not telling it right. And let me look back on the computer. Yeah, I think the first time you landed up right. 7 lands you up on chance. But if it's not any chance, it's a big chance. Do you know why it's a big chance? Because the chance that you end up with the number 7 position is a blue chance. I guess you blew your chance. And then there's a pink chance. It could have been the pink chance. The pink pig that flies, the angels in the sky, we end up on a community chest. Because our heart is held inside our chest. 18 and 18, as in position, is 36. That is creation. Creation of 7. We go underneath. We do 1, 3, 7, and 9. One is the upper world, one is the overworld. They're both minus and plus. I'm going to look in here. So anyways, we had that year. So if Christ only lived to 33 like they said, with a minus 3 and plus 3, that would make 39. TEN is the number that represents 39. If it was 3 years at 33 that he died, then it's community chest. We minus the 3 and add the 3. You minus from 33, 3, you end up at 30. That is creation. Minus 3 plus 3 is 36. And all the numbers I've done in the past couple of days bring us all back to the time of Christ. I just want to show you one world, if I could. Here is two worlds, one on this angle, one on this angle, 1, 3, 7, 9, Mercury, Earth, Uranus, and Pluto. This is the number 3 dice. This is the C. C3 shows this. If you got C and C, it makes an X, and it creates the X in here. If you have the B world, you have a dot up here and a dot down here, but it means nothing until you put a dot over here and a dot over here. Now you got this dice here. Here's the 1A. 1A, and here's 1A over here. Do you know why you call him 1A? Because in the dice, he represents himself inside the B, inside the C. He also represents himself inside the 5. So God represents himself inside the sea, the oceans, the lakes, and the lands of all the water that falls, the waterfalls of the world, the caverns that are made. Where else should I bring this and take this? I am not sure. But if you go -3 and +3 to begin everything, before the numbers came out, okay, you would be on property of luxury tax. $75, 3 of 4 corners. Why 3 of 4 corners? Because at -18, you never reach free parking on either side. Now -18, if you really want to look at it, okay, look up -18 Fahrenheit, and look up -18 Celsius. It mostly works by the Celsius. Look up -18, -18, -17, compare it to the Monopoly board, use the grid of the roulette board and the colors of the numbers and the possible bets where you can put a round number, because we all put round numbers because they taught us it that way with the chakras and the Kabbalah. They use it round and straight. Seems to work out that way wherever you go. Let me see if I have anything else in here. Oh, I have a ton. Oh, this is what it is. You're with your wife in the bedroom. You tell her to turn around once. She turns around once to get undressed. She turns around again to get into the bed. The next time she turns around is the time you bump her. And that's 3 bumps and you had an accident, so she has a child. So the oven is rising and things go on, and we've been having fun. Sex is like going over a bridge. It's like a beaver going under the water and over the bridge. You sweat like hell, you vibrate because you're not getting any lubricancy in your mind, so it shakes and vibrates. The other reason for number 75 in the luxury tax, which comes in gold and a diamond, is because 3 times 25, which is the number of Christ, equals 75. 3 times the movement of the earth is 0.75, is the number of Christ. What's missing is 35, and I can go into a lot more things, and that's only because I bring it to a 10-10 world, but I won't bring you into that world yet, not unless you ask. Here's a partial corner of the way it works. Over here, God can only get 1 dice, and he can dice 60 here and 60 here. Over here, he gets 1 dice. He can dice 60 here and 60 here. Now we start to overlap with the knowledge of what we can do with each dice and what has to be done for the same formation that we came upon the earth. We have a strength. We have a great strength in the universe, and our greatest strength is the evil. When the evil I'm out of my buzz, so it's harder to rock the boat. But when the evil comes out and tilts the boat, automatically God is called. It's like pulling the alarm system. It's like a fire. You have a fire in your house, the fire alarm goes off and it warns you. Well, God has been warned, and it's only the evil that have rung the bell. They brought in the evil and they're going to send it out by their old foul smell. The fowl are the chicken and the birds with no wings, but they seem to be flying and onto everything and knocking on anybody in their way. There is no more peace, and we're all into pieces because we don't understand. Some of us are quick bipolar, the others are schizophrenic and they're lost because no one knows how to teach them how to control. We always need the pills, don't forget, but there are other ways to do it also. For myself, I still have to take them, but there will be a day when I'll have a better understanding. But yet, in this world, I'm not alone anymore. On my left is my doctor, on my right are my parents. I'm being held up on both sides. It's a hard life being held up, and you're only going to have to shoot. I ain't got no girlfriend, so what do I do? I guess we'll end this in the cavern of one. Did you enjoy this video? Did we have our fun? We offset a little bit of tradition, because now you know that Christ was born on the 359th day, the creation of 59, the creation of 58, the creation of 57, the creation of 56. 1, 2, 3 later, man comes in, because only at 56 can man come into this world. 2 dice in his hand, 5 and 6, and that's all you got, and here's the roll. Let's come out to play. Raphael, 7286. I hope I did proper in this video. I had a question a few minutes ago. Who do you think you are? 49 years next week, my birthday. I always knew who I was. I just never believed it. I tell stories. I break codes in my own world. I share it in case there's one that wants to enter. It's free to enter into my mind. We're all in outer space. Raphael, 7286. I only write to empty my thoughts, and then I go on to play. Whoa, we're in the playground. Yeah, what are we going to do, play with the grounds? I don't know, I'll pick up a rosin bag. See the guy over there? Yeah, watch out, he's got a bat. You know what? I'll beam him. So he throws him over, hits him in the head. Guy falls down, he says, you know what? Automatic, you're in first. Gets the first, looks at the pitcher and he says, He says, you hit me in the head, eh? He says, I think I'm going to steal second. Screw you. So he tries to steal second, the pitcher throws the ball in his head again. And then not only that, there's a second baseman that catches the ball and hits him in the head all the time. Or he hits him in the back. And if he's out, he's got to go to the dugout. They dug it out for him. But at the end, if you touch the plate and you're at home, you can go back to sleep in the dugout. The pitcher, the catcher? What's the catcher doing? Hey man, it's peace. Oh man, look, yeah man, peace. Catcher's behind the plate showing signs. He says, it's good. Don't worry about the guy with the bat, just put it over here, it'll all be okay. Throws it into that position, the pitcher says, shakes his head. He says, I don't know if I can get that position. He says, you know what? He says, I'll do what you said. He says, I'll try my best. So he throws the ball, right? But in between the catcher and the pitcher, there's a guy. The catcher's got the mitt. There's a hole in the mitt, he can close the ball. But the guy's got a bat. He don't want the ball to get into the hole. Because the ball gets into the hole, then we're in a fairy tale. And that ball is out the sky. It's on the ground. So second baseman picks it up, throws it over to first. He says, you can't come in. I didn't invite you into this house. Out number 1. Out number 2. The batter is already in the on-deck circle. He's on the deck, in the circle. What is there, a helicopter coming to land in the circle? He's on deck, he's on the on-deck circle with a bunch of donuts. Polar ice, just like the ponies. He's sitting there with donuts, he's swinging them around. He's got a hole in his donuts and his shaft is in it. He's showing off his play stick. That's a stick his wife uses. He says, oh, look at that, the same thing, man. Ah. Second baseman takes a look down the line. He sees, hey, he's stealing your pitches. Looks over to the second baseman. Can you see the batter stealing my pitches? Are you looking at the batter's eyes? Ball gets hit into left field, but that's okay. There's no space out there. Because it's left. It's the left of the field. The field left. It's not right. It wasn't right to leave, but it left. So they played center and right. Well, center or right. If you split the right center, it makes a left. Then we got left field again. Left field is a return of the information of the understanding of the difference of our thoughts. Left field, almost an empty space. Unless there's somebody out there. A big field for one guy. Pretty cool, eh? Not many people seem to be able to hit the ball out there, so they just put somebody and call them number 5. Probably 6th in the order. But sitting in the field left. Is it the left field that's number 5, sitting batting 6th? Wearing number 43 on his back, playing for team number 16. The Milwaukee Brewers. Why Milwaukee Brewers? Because it's MD and that's our memory bank. Milwaukee is always brewing the beer for our memory to bubble up and we can go on a big ride. Because it's all a big club. We're in the soda club and my mind's in for a ride. We have 2 down. The third batter comes up and he was in the on-deck circle. But as he was on the on-deck circle, the man at the plate struck out. And he walked right by, and he wished him good luck. But when the guy was on base, it was serious business. So what happened before the inning started? They threw the ball around like a bunch of kids, just trying to get the field because they cooled down in the dugout. It's a little cool down there. Sometimes they open the heaters up, making it feel like the devil's claw. What did the first man do that was coming up the plate while the pitcher was throwing out? 9 pitches. Then 1 pitch from the catcher, the 9th one doesn't go back to the pitcher. He only gets 8 because there's only an 8th and he doesn't get to get his ball again. They got to throw it around the field. Let's say they throw it around the horn, and the horn sounds off, and it's the hockey game that starts. But in baseball, there ain't no horn. They sing the national anthem from both countries. The nation of anthems. The passage of angels comes into the diamond to play the game. They are 1 and 1, playing a game of 1 that will be and have only just 1 winner, because in baseball, there's extra innings. We'll get the 10th. Isn't that fantastic? We get the 10th. We get a double digit. And with that extra inning, we get 6 more outs, 6 more eggs. Put a 1 in front of the 6 more eggs, and how much do you have? Put an egg, put someone on first base, and put an egg in front of that. Put someone on second base, and put 2 eggs behind that. Put someone on third base, and put 3 eggs behind that. Put them on third base, put 3 eggs behind that, because the other guy is at the plate. He's going to swing away. But the catcher is going at it, dancing Spanish and Latino. Let's do the rumba. So he picks up for a curve. And the pitcher says, if you want a curve, check out the chicken seat number 23, row A, section 148 of the stand on the left-hand side where the donut factory is, holding on to all those donuts for the back so I can swing. I need a little extra weight. But after baseball, the manager says, after today, you must go on a diet. And he says, if I die he says, you know what it is all about, eh? It's the birth of my baseball. 29, 2009. 3 years later from 2009, it's 2012, the 24th of December of 2001. Measure the time. So the third man comes up to the plate. And I didn't tell you this story yet, but he actually struck out the first batter. So he automatically had to throw 3 pitches. Because you can't swing twice at the same bat. You knock his wings off, the ball wouldn't fly. The second batter, 1 pitch, 1 out. Third batter, 1 pitch, 1 out. Pretty easy, eh? But if you want to go to first place, you gotta wait for the catcher to keep throwing off the signs. So if he throws you off on the signs, you'd be on first base on 4 balls. Well, that's pretty good. 1 to get out, but 4 balls to get on. Ooh, is that fair? In this world, we get 80 years for 1 in and 1 out. And then part of the time, we're in total pain. For the mind that's insane, that plays the game. Like a checkerboard or chess. Double me up. Backgammon me in. Run the horses, because the Queen's plate is coming upon us. 92, the new birth, came this year, February 29th. I cannot answer you to the number of moons. I cannot answer you to anything exact right now. I am only taking in right now for what is coming into me. What I can tell you is if you have a total of whatever it is, always take an amount off. Whatever the amount is, you'll create a new equation and you'll have the answer inside the amount you took off. Just like pi, the answer is there, but you're not sure what to take off. You don't know how to do it. Things that are whole are split and shared. Me, my nose shares everything. My eyes are a little divorced. My mouth, well, it's an action between my 2 ears that are separated just in case it's on the other side. My nuts hang down together just below my shaft, but they're still in between my legs. So they're pretty much center, and it's the shaft that makes everything center. It's the shaft and the hole. Your dick and your asshole are aligned. Your dick is 1, your ass is 0, you got 10. The J letter, you got God. J Leno. J, Eno, N and O, the passage of Omega, your ass, fill it up, dump it out, bring on the clarity of the thought, let's go to the washroom, let's watch the way we eat, let's watch the way we think, and we can still live on in this beautiful world. For myself, I've been stopped. There's so many things I want to do, and the only thing I'm allowed to do is go to the house and not think. I have to go out in peace and ponder, because when I start to think, it starts to go, and I don't want to stop it, because it's too much fun. Even though it seems that sometimes I seem to be saying nothing, I'm just cleaning out the basin. I need to constantly clean up, constant in my mind. Am I letting things get behind in the house? No. Are the 3 cats that jump on my balcony always there? No. Do they get food? Yes. Do I give them water? Yes. Have I vacuumed my floor? No. It's all in cement. I gotta pass the broom. Have I cleaned the toilet lately? Have I taken a shower lately? Have I washed my clothes lately? Do I have a key for my door? Do I have a duplicate in case something happens? Am I getting ready my car for the winter? It's winter coming up in 7 weeks about. I have to change my tires. I also have to get out of the house so I don't think so much about what I do, because otherwise I'll jam myself up and I won't be able to spread my wings. So I have to cut myself short. No more than a couple hours at a time. For a half-an-hour break will get me done. Will be so swell. Get me out of this house of hell. What else should I tell? Started writing poetry about 10 years old. I used to type out, from 1970 to 1978, I used to type out every single hockey game the Canadians play, every single thing that happened in numbers. I've been doing numbers for almost close to 40 years. I've been doing numbers. I never knew what it was for. I only knew I liked to do it because it always works out. And it's fun always to have the right answer. Hey boy, 8 times 6 is 48, and 48 and 6 is 14. Total, that is 62. One world's got the 62, the other world's got the 62, you got 622-6. A universal question, what's it all about? 62 and 26 are 88, it's about the 2 worlds, the heaven connect, Jupiter! The Jew tire of all earth tear this apart and tear us a hole and pass something else into this world as the spider fixes up the hole. Part of the matrix shows tears. Tearing French is a weight. The chemtrails they make right now is because they know. But it's too late. It's over. Isn't that great? I have my faith rested in God. I never knew this can be true. And then again, this is just a story of me, the thinking of you. Sometimes my jokes aren't nice or stupid or make no actual sense or anybody can do it. Well, if you watch all that stuff on TV, I think you're into just Twisted Sister more than anything else. And if you're twisting your sister, you better watch out. She'll turn into a figure 8 and you won't be in the house anymore. Twisted sisters. One side of the brain, 2 sides of the brain, twisted. I've got 2 sides of brains and I'm running from the center. Raphael 7286. And the constellation of Pegasus, of the same coordinations, riding a horse all the way up to the North Pole to visit Santa Claus. This video is now over.